The world watched in disbelief as Russian forces stormed across the Ukrainian border in February 2022. The images were stark, the reality terrifying. A nation woke to the deafening roar of explosions, the horrifying sight of tanks rolling through their streets. What followed was a cascade of violence that shook the world. The initial shock gave way to a grim reality. This was not a swift military operation but a protracted war. As months turned into years, the intensity of the conflict only seemed to escalate. Each day brought fresh reports of shelling, airstrikes, and fierce fighting. The world bore witness to a litany of atrocities. From the horrors of Bucha to the relentless siege of Mariupol, the conflict has been characterized by a blatant disregard for human life. The Kremlin's justifications for the invasion rang hollow as evidence mounted of war crimes and crimes against humanity. The conflict in Ukraine is not confined to battlefields. It is a war that has deeply impacted the lives of everyday citizens. One of the most disturbing aspects of this conflict has been the systematic targeting of civilian infrastructure. Schools, hospitals, and residential areas have all come under fire. The images are heart-wrenching. Children huddled in bomb shelters, doctors operating in makeshift hospitals, families torn apart. The message is clear. This is a war waged not only against the Ukrainian military, but against the very fabric of Ukrainian society. The attacks on energy infrastructure have been particularly devastating. As temperatures plummet in the harsh Ukrainian winter, millions have been left without heat, electricity, or access to clean water. These attacks are not merely acts of destruction, they are calculated acts of cruelty designed to break the spirit of the Ukrainian people. The human toll of the conflict is staggering. Thousands of civilians have lost their lives. Millions have been displaced from their homes, forced to flee for their lives. The stories of these refugees are heartbreaking. Mothers separated from their children, families torn apart, lives shattered. The psychological scars of war run deep. Children have witnessed horrors no child should ever see. Families live with the constant fear of the next attack. The trauma of this conflict will continue to haunt generations to come. Despite the unimaginable hardships they have faced, the Ukrainian people have shown remarkable resilience. Their spirit remains unbroken. They have taken up arms to defend their homeland, their courage inspiring the world. The international community has rallied in support of Ukraine, providing humanitarian aid, military assistance, and imposing sanctions on Russia. But more needs to be done. We cannot allow apathy and fatigue to set in. The fight for Ukraine is a fight for freedom, for democracy, for the right of a nation to determine its own destiny. It is a fight we cannot afford to lose.